मेरी बहन का बीच में आ रही है इसमें और मेरी स्ट्रीम चालू हो गई। तेरे बिना जिंदगी तो
2 मिनट में क्या ही होता है?
क्या बात कर रहे हो मम्मा? कुकू टीवी 2 मिनट में दे रहा है आपको फुल ऑन एक्शन, कॉमेडी, रोमांस और हॉरर से पैक्ड धमाकेदार शोज। तो आप लोग किस बात का इंतजार कर रहे हो? आप लोग भी तुरंत जाके कुकू टीवी डाउनलोड करो और 10,000 से भी ज्यादा माइक्रो ड्रामास का फायदा उठाओ।
You already optimized for Google. Now optimize for AI. Use SEMrush.
Construction in the pistol round, and that was a big part of that previous map as well. The fact that they were able to get those pistols over the line, they were able to put themselves in a position that ended up just closing out the map in very close contention. If you're GE, you probably feel a little bit hard done by. A pistol round genuinely could have made all of the difference. Very close contention. If you're GE, you probably feel a little bit hard done by. A pistol round. But in this round, it is again more of the same. Wanting to get those orbs under their belt, claiming the first early on B, running all the way to the other side to get the second. But with how little is invested here, Mitch, expectations, I would say if they get a kill, they've done well. But with how little is invested here,
I mean, getting the 2 orbs already is going to be a challenge. If Leviathan keep holding the angles they're on. I mean, getting the 2 orbs already is going to be ready for the fight up top, but it is only a judge on Spike's scene, so he can't really take the fight to them.
लेविटन का मैच है।
Ready for the fight up top. It is only a judge on Spike. Thought this was a step forward to grab the orb. Maybe it will be when the wall goes up. Numbers have started to shift in the other direction. They're even going to get caught by the Prowler on purpose. Yudotan's trying to bait them in. Trying to show some presence on this side of the map and
कॉपीराइट लग जाएगा। नहीं आएगा, कॉपीराइट नहीं आएगा।
noise, let them know that this is the side that they're looking to fight on while the others walk into B, but it's not left open. Leviathan, they're wise to these tricks. They just played 2 maps where GE were doing the same thing, and they won't let them get away with it again. Good work by Neon, and another flawless round for Leviathan. A clean lead built up.
yeah, exactly what they're looking for. They can come into this next round with rifles across the board, bar a singular judge, which, okay, it's not as strong as it used to be, but I think we've already seen that even going back to map 1, the Neon could still be incredibly strong. Maybe the judge can too. And as their lead builds, it feels like so does that confidence for Leviathan. That first map seeming more like the outlier than the defining factor, and that's what I was kind of expecting with the slows. Like, you know that your opponents like to get aggressive, so throwing those in early. But I also like what Neon did. He's jumping out, gets the info, but it's part of a TP to get away. He can't be trapped there.
28 लोग देख रहे भाई, जो भी लोग नया आ रहा है स्ट्रीम को लाइक कर देना भाई, ठीक है? उडो को खेलना पड़ेगा, कुछ भी हो जाए आज। उडो नहीं खेला तो दिक्कत है।
Across the map, putting pressure on mid, looking for someone to step out of line. Seems very unlikely to happen towards this A site. Prowler sees nothing there. They didn't see nothing. I think Autumn might have shot it. Went down very early, and they certainly know he's around this area now. The first map, this would have already seen the rotate start to the A site, but as we said, Leviathan are more than aware of how GE like to work this attack side. How they've been exploited in this series already, and so as GE gear up for this B hit, there's still going to be numbers waiting.
देख लेना पक्का बी पे जाएंगे, बी पे फेक करके ही जाएंगे, मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है। मे बी नहीं, उडो घुस रहा है।
30 seconds left. 3 players make that 4 already hit the defenders. The read is almost perfect. The crossfires working out as well as one player goes down. The swings are immediate. And this is a problem for Global. Nice one alongside him. The spike looking to be planted. 12 seconds left. He's got an isolated battle.
Let's go भाई. दिक्कत हो गई भाई जीतने में, but let's go.
As we said at the beginning, and maybe a little bit too close. Nonetheless, GE do have their first round.
Yeah, definitely a lot of blows traded.
Autumn ने निकाला भाई, Autumn का timing सही बैठ गया पीछे से आके.
Starting on the mid control, pushing them back, and the question mark that created was enough for Leviathan to decide to rotate through spawn, opened up the door for Autumn, and once they get to the site, their pace was perfect. They start to move towards the smokes, but they don't burst out into that space for the fights until Autumn's ready to come in and back them up. Nicely done.
Bro, you know,
now the full line, Leviathan.
Nah, same
around from the defense.
Banks के साथ मैं नहीं मानता भाई.
a very different approach as well. Last round was waiting for
Bencho
aggression.
बाद
They
में
had 1B, 1A,
तो सही में
3
Bings के साथ
mid.
add
This
था।
time, everything given up with 120 on the clock. It's pack mentality outside A.
कैसा
Depends how long it's going to take Leviathan to realize. Lowe's job is just to try and slow them down, and the pre-fire almost takes him out
उनको पे नहीं
completely.
क्या यूटिल्स
They managed to keep
कर लिया
control
सारा।
though.
बहुत पहले जब उसके 20-25
those
साल थे
rafters.
बिंग्स मेरा फेवरेट स्ट्रीमर है ब्रो टू
Now
बी
look
ऑनेस्ट
to
बता
swing
रहा हूँ
together.
बिंग्स को बहुत देखता हूँ मे बी 2-3 इयर्स हाँ वो बीजेएमआई पहले बहुत अच्छा खेलता था बीजेएमआई जिन लोगों को नहीं पता वो मतलब वो बीजेएमआई भी बहुत खेलता था
Trying to wrap around behind them late. Trying to beat that
nice.
forward to the side.
उड़ो बोल रहा भाई उड़ोटन है
It's
भाई
not even needed in
उड़ोटन
this
का
play.
लेवल अलग है ब्रो
And now Neon left with almost no choice. 1v4. It's time to go to the other side of the map, tuck in, and
Neon
hope
अच्छा
to
खेलता
carry that rifle through to the next. A
उड़ोटन का
great
लेवल है
round for
भाई
GE, though only losing Udaton, who was grandstanding in the middle of the site, and he
ठीक
took
है
two
तो
with him.
चलो
Yeah, I
जी
like the
फाइटिंग
way
भाई
they
जी फाइटिंग
adapted to
यार
that though, because
मे बी
you look
2-3
at the
इयर्स
fact that
हाँ वो
Heaven
पहले बहुत
control was
बीजेएमआई खेलता
completely
था मेरे
in
को
the
पता है
hands of the
उसकी स्टैट्स
defenders.
वगैरह भी
I
देख
think
रखी है मैंने
initially Blows did a great job to just make sure they can't just run up and take that for free. It makes the retake so much more difficult. But then, as you sort of said it, they implant Autumn in a deeper
उड़ो चलना
position.
चाहिए ब्रो आज
He's then left smoked off, and then Udoton is just watching that
Udoton
angle. And,
पे जो भी है
okay,
भाई।
there's a little bit of disruption thrown in
देखना
at the
भाई
same
जो दो
time
बार
from
इसमें।
Patman, who's TP'd up to almost use the gap in the wall. And then when Udotan is hitting those shots, it makes things that little bit more easy. Economy damaged. Leviathan's early lead taken from the pistol and follow-up now reduced. They don't have too much to play with in this one.
It really was Patman in that last round with huge impact. One kill was all it took to leave them with basically no added layer to that push out of ramp. Spike scene, that's a big risk.
nice good one
Walking through that side of the orb, visible by basically everywhere in mid, and there were 3
round
players
to GG
staring
जाएगी।
right back at him.
undoubtedly
Of course, you're going to take risks in a round like this where there's weak weapons in play for Leviathan. They get nothing, bar a bit of
ये नियॉन के
information
आटे में ना आ जा बस
for the first fight. Now, this
मतलब
is a
women
bit
के
more dangerous, but they've just spotted
इनके
Blows. Does well
एम
to
ना
find even
बहुत
the
प्रिसाइज
one,
होते हैं भाई
despite some damage
जतिन
being done.
बहुत प्रिसाइज
This will
होते
be
हैं
a hard
भाई
round to take
इनके 12
out
12
G's
13
hands. They have
13
a
घंटे तो ये
showstopper
बंदे
if they
खाली
need it, and that's
प्रैक्टिस
probably
करते भाई
the
रेंज
way
में
Leviathan
एम
can make
लैब्स
them pop
वगैरह
that
सारा
Neon at least managed to get
सौमी
it
सीयूडी
back
गेमर
from
हेलो ब्रदर
You can
12
see
12
the
घंटे तो भाई ये
positioning
बंदा
from
ऐसा
Patman as
लगे
well.
रहते हैं भाई तू सोच ले कि
And
मिस का तो
smoke
चांस ही नहीं
thrown
है
in.
अगर इनमें से कोई विफ कर दिया ना तो
Now
ऐसा
he's
लगता है कि भाई
flanking.
क्या कर दिया इन्होंने भाई हल्का सा भी विफ
And
करने का
he
इनका कोई
probably has
है
a
ही नहीं
ramp
भाई
round, although
थ्रेशोल्ड ही
timing
इतना
here
कम
could
है
be
कि
quite important.
ये
Does
विफ ही नहीं
Patman
कर
actually
सकते
turn
भाई
around? No, he does not. Okay.
हीरो
That's at least a gun into the hands of Sato, but can they get anything more from this? Time-wise, probably not. It is ticking fairly fast, and with Udotan putting...
अरे
What?
That's
What
a
the
mistake.
fuck?
Yeah, you can see,
There's
you can
no
see by
way.
his face. That was not the plan
Bhai.
whatsoever, but it's going to end up clearing out Sato. Yeah, definitely not a part of the plan for
यार
Udotan, but hey, he gets a kill for it at least.
Well,
Kill
he
मिल गया
sent
but
his
बता
missile
दे
the
कि मिला
namesake
इसका
out. Fair enough.
यार
Might not have been necessary.
जतिन
Like
देख
you said,
कोई बात नहीं हगना वो कोई बात
99%
नहीं
sure
भाई
that was a misclick.
खेलना पड़ता है
One
ना
of the
थोड़ा
most
अगर प्रैक्टिस करके
audacious
खेलेगा ना तो
end of
तब
round plays
जाके
I've
तू
seen
रैंक
in a
अप
long
कर
time.
पाएगा वो
3-2 nonetheless. GE.
माइंड से
Find
देख
themselves the
वैलोरेंट
lead.
एम के साथ बहुत ज्यादा
Leviathan
मैटर करता है
already feeling
दिमाग
the
से खेलना
pressure.
ब्रो पूरा स्ट्रेटजी बना के प्ले कर देना भाई
They
कभी
have
कभी
taken this
अगर तू
moment to
फ्रैक्चर
call
पे
a
खेल रहा है अभी
timeout.
देखेगा
I
बंदा
think it shows the
आर्केड से घूम के
headspace of
पीछे
G,
टनल से
though.
जाके फिर
Like,
मार
you're
के आ
in a
रहा है
third map
तो प्ले
of
बनाना
your
आना चाहिए
opening.
सोच इतनी अपनी
Something
होनी
that
चाहिए
could
कि
end
भाई
up
क्या
as
से
a
कैसे मार
coin-based win
सकता है बंदा
condition is just having that sort of positivity. You've made a mistake in what is a pretty big game for you, but you've closed out the round and you've won 3
Leviathan
rounds in a
ने
row. And as
लिया
said, in the last map, those pistols ended up almost
भाई
being
यार
a saving
पीछे
grace for
ये ना भाई बहुत
Leviathan
you
because
know
they only just close it out 13 to
मेहनत
11.
करिए ब्रो यार
But the fact that G has got off to such a good start, and when you look back to at least the last couple of times they played this map, their defense was very good. And I think that sort of sits true to
हाँ
this
मतलब समझ गया
composition.
जतिन
Having a lot
बट वो
available
मैटर
for
नहीं करता
delay.
एक बार के लिए अगर तू इतने दिन बाद भी खेल रहा है ना तो
Lev
ऐसा
realized
खेलना
very
कि
early
सीधा
on
गेम में
that,
मत
okay,
जा
we need to chat to
रेंज
owner,
में
we
जा
need to
बॉट
come
मार
up with
तू
something
देख
here
के
on the
हाँ
defensive
मतलब
side because
जनरली बॉट्स
at least the
कितने
last
मार पा
round
रहा
that
है
wasn't
हार्ट्स वाला
particularly
सिलेक्ट कर
close.
मैं तेरे को बताया ना मैं रेंज करता हूँ जब भी गेम खेलता हूँ हार्ड वाला सेलेक्ट कर और कितने मार पाता हूँ
coaching staff, and now we're right back into the game. The barriers will go up, and it's time for them to apply whatever they've learned.
भाई खेलता है कोई भी गेम
From the
तेरे को
big
खेलना
brain
आता है कुछ
in
भी
the
है
coach
तो भाई
booth.
तू कुछ भी
GE
गेम
pack
खेल सकता है
mentality.
जिसमें वो क्वालिटी
5
है
players
भाई
sitting
तो
outside
मैं
A.
बता रहा हूँ
No control across the map. This is, you know, they have got a sentinel, but
वो बात है
quite in that way.
If they don't go A, it's going to take them a very long time to go anywhere else, but clearly very confident in their A site take, especially when you have a Nightfall. We've seen this already, the throw put out, then they have the wall put up top. Once they can get it on the cross, the thing is that the defense are already here. They're already ready once again to try and go for this retake down the ramp, but last time they got shut out.
लेवेटा ने
They dealt with the
सेंटी
TP attempt from
नहीं लिया
Pac-Man,
है
so no having control now
Double
for GE
smoke
to
है,
work
double
with.
duel
They're
इसके
sitting
साथ
down
kill
on
है
the site, waiting for Leviathan to come to them. Remember, last time Autumn in the same position wasn't spotted, wasn't needed, so he can hold that deep into the round. The Sage Wall has to be broken. The slow goes in right away. More time bought, more delay. But the paranoia, oh, it's lined up perfectly.
इनके स्ट्रेटेजी
Had
के
so
भाई
many, three
भाई
players
टीम मैटर
blinded by
करते
that,
हैं
but
भाई
Abby
कभी
and Crystal, they still managed to
मार
find their
दिया
kills.
नाइस
Numbers
कम्पैट यार
sit heavily in favor of GE, and King might have bought himself
जीत गए
a
जी
way out.
फाइटिंग भाई
A way to
लेट्स गो
save
यार
this weapon with that
लेट्स
kill,
गो
but
ब्रो
no chance anymore for the round to go their way. Leviathan after the pause, it's the same result.
I
want
really
GE to
like the
fucking
sort
win the
of
game,
small
bro.
differences we're seeing from GE. Like you think back to
लास्ट
that
वाला
prior
गेम भी
round,
जीत
okay, they
जाती भाई
still didn't
उडोटन
have that
बहुत
heavy
तगड़े फॉर्म
control,
में चल
but
रहा
they put
था
the wall up there, and then they TP up to the wall. This time they put it towards the spawn. You have Javi sat on it the whole time. Okay, you break my wall, I'm going to just put slows in. And then they get up close in contact. Sure, the spams help them a lot, but also that paranoia is going to near sight you. It's not going to leave you completely blinded. Come on. They seem to be enjoying themselves. You can understand why. 4 rounds in a row.
लेट्स गो
That A site take has caused so many issues that look at the defense in this round, Mitch.
अच्छा
They are
agent भी
about to
लेना
try
तो
and
वो भी better
fight them
है
for A control, and they're not there.
Yeah, indeed. 3 players go running up. See, absolutely nothing for GE. They've taken a loss early on. Pac-Man down and out, and Pac-Man right back in. No spams to take him out of the round, and Autumn has just spotted 1. Make it 2 inside defense. A trade at least.
उनका नियॉन ले
for
लिया
GE.
वो ना वो एंट्री
See how
करता
they deal with this situation at 3v4.
बढ़िया
Nice.
नाइस जीत गए
I don't see it. Stairs. Stairs in front of stairs. I'm holding heaven. Heaven.
लाइव फॉर्म चल रहा है
Wait,
guys.
Nabi.
Last player standing.
Left side.
And see, good damage there.
Oh, it's a narrow margin, but Leviathan just about find the round.
Yeah, I think it's one of those moments where it seems like Neon is almost doing more than his fair share.
यहाँ पे ना
Like being able to
ओमेन ने थोड़ा गेम कर दिया
climb
वरना
around
तो
the edge
टीम
of the
जीत जाती
smokes, and that might even be the reason
इन्होंने
they
गलती
go for
करी
that
जी इन्हें
heavy
बहुत
A
गलती
presence,
करी
because they go,
थोड़ा
even
ओमेन
if
को
they
लेना
go
था
B,
पैर
that's
में
the
ऐसा
guy
लेना
that's
था
been
उनको
causing them issues so far.
इनके ओमेन ने भी
I think
गलती
the
करी
death
उसके
he's
पैटमैन
had
ने भी
have
गलती
mostly
करी
been
उसने
when
भी
he's
गलती करी
rotating
पैटमैन ने और
towards A. I think it was 6 and
नियॉन
1
को मार
other than
देना था
that.
पहले ही यार
Another big round for a man that has been talked up an awful lot coming into this tournament.
मिड कमिट कर रहे इस बार
But you can understand why. Autumn has just taken a nasty amount of damage.
It was a headshot through the wall. Lucky that he was that close to it. Oh, the TP's almost got King off, and it will indeed. Pac-Man putting the numbers now in their favor despite early damage, and now the pressure on to Neon, who has to just back out. Spikes in, though! He goes up into heaven.
बोला था ना
Settled by
नियॉन
his
गेम कर
side,
देता भाई स्लाइड
Now
करके
the
यार
advantage
अभी भी उसके
no
पास
longer in
स्लाइड
the
तो है ही
hands
ना
of GE. The plant not found, and they rotate.
वाह लेट्स गो
Tag from the early fight still wins
पता है
the
उनको पता है
battle.
ऊपर स्टेयर्स आएगा उनको
But
पता है
Neon
पर
has
ये
been
चला
the
गया
danger
वो
man.
व्हाट द फक
Can be this time. But a gamble has to be made, and of
He's
course,
baiting him.
he heard the snake
He's
bite.
baiting him.
He thinks now it's the A hit, but
बढ़िया
He's had the
soon
step.
he'll find out the plans
वाइपर
on the
वेट
other
करेगा ये
side.
पे
He's made the realization though. He'll be here
चला
maybe a
गया
little bit
नीचे
sooner than expected.
जल्दी आ गया
Autumn might even be caught walking away.
Ooh.
Just as the Viper Spit blooms, they thought they had more time. A 1v1
बट
to take it home, but it's
भाई
Crystal to save
इसने
the
वेव करा
day.
पहले
It looked like it would be another round when Neon just takes over. A sublime read, but Crystal keeps them in the lead.
What a try it was from the man, currently sitting 10-4. The beating heart of Leviathan on this defensive side, but
अच्छा हुआ
flatline
भाई
in the final second.
नियोन यही कर रहा था एक्सपेक्ट के वहां से आएगा बड़ा अच्छा हुआ भाई अच्छा खेला क्रिस्टल भी
He connected the dots.
उसकी मम्मी हमारे साथ वाला लेके बैठी है भाई सही में प्राउड मॉम यार प्राउड मॉम
With a decent lead, and it might just be about to get that little bit better with a very low buy coming in from Leviathan. Viper's Pit could definitely help them out, though.
Oh, it's safe to say that they believe in the Bandit. 4 purchased, a Viper's Pit thrown in, Spike Xene ultimate available. They're going to try and just pad
मिड पे जाने का
this
चांसेस
round
ज्यादा था उनका
with those
इको
ults.
पे अल्ट करी है उन्होंने
Problem once again though.
इनको पता था ये आउटफ्लो लेके गया देख ये मैटर करता है ये चीज अब इनको पता है ये इको पे खेलेंगे तो आउटफ्लो बहुत पावरफुल का नहीं इको पे वन शॉट मारना है भाई और उसका रिकॉल भी इतना अच्छा है भाई बहुत अच्छा रिकॉल है उसका लो भाई इको पे आउटफ्लो लो भाई तुम एक ही बंदा बट पूरी टीम में सब
Looking like he might try and get a little bit cheeky around this.
Yeah, I do think that GE
इको पे पूरा गैम्बल ही चलता है
something about the 3 rifles pointed at that choke point gives it away. And there it is. Did they realize? Yes, they did. They saw the elbow. Neon, whether it was Paranoia or Smokey, was lining up. Don't get a chance to put it out as King falls. This round looking like it's done. Indeed.
मैटर्स भाई ये चीज बहुत
Spike
ज्यादा
Scene's got an ace up his sleeve. It will be.
I think there's going to come a time where they have to start trying to deal with Autumn. Like his lurks around the map. Think back to the last round. It was just a general irritation. And even when they knew where he was, it's still causing them mass amount of problems. We saw it in prior rounds where they go for that A push-up to try and clear that lurker out of the side of the map. And then it's not there. That's what GE have done quite well. They've had these all-in rounds where they're all together, they're all pushing an angle, and then they've had these other rounds where you just have Autumn on the other side of the map. And it feels like each time they try and pick the round where he's not going to be there, they're wrong.
Yeah, again, going back to Pearl, that was the kind of vibe we had. It wasn't about the lurks, instead about where the hits were coming through. The fakes from GE were sublime. They've had some great attack sides here. 9-3 possible. That would be a big blow to Leviathan moving to the next half. We haven't seen those signs of the defensive side.
नाम चेंज करा क्या
आपने?
It's just
पहले कुछ और नाम था अभी नाम चेंज कर दिया
They're going to challenge him once again. This time though, a showstopper sent
उड़ो के
through.
अल्ट से गया अंदर
He's managed to escape. His life has held a lot of value in this map so far. The showstopper will give them space. Already wall being broken, but in the meantime the spike has gone through and the attackers wanted to try and push even further forward, not wanting to be trapped in. Even still though, damage
और ऑटो टाइमिंग हो जाता भाई.
He seems to have an opponent catching him almost every time. He still wins
Let's
those
go भाई
fights.
कमबैक ना हो जाओ उनका यार.
Make it interesting
नहीं
enough
सेट तो
so
भाई
that
अल्ट करी बढ़िया
Sato
किया
has
भाई.
used his ult. King also gets rid of Udatan. Somehow this might just be competitive.
Oh, it was nearly favored to Leviathan there. Javi lucky to still be alive, and Crystal
दोनों उधर आ रहे. What the fuck?
a risky game.
Let's go. Save it भाई. Let's go भाई. Let's go bench.
I guess he found them. 7-3 now. It looked like Leviathan had a chance, but the light is going dim on that side of the stage as GE climb further and further into the lead.
They were tunnel visioned. They were chasing that last man ring around
fighting,
Rosie, and instead it was Javi to catch them. His ult now available for the next as well, and you can understand why this second pause is coming in. A 7-5 half, okay, it wouldn't be great considering you won the pistol and second round, but it feels like those last 2 rounds are going to be the Coinbase win condition, because if you go in a 9-3 deficit into this GE comp, which, as said, I think is
अपने नाम चेंज करा क्या कि मतलब रियल अकाउंट से नहीं आना करके.
And I start to feel very nervous.
I think अपने नाम चेंज करा के रियल अकाउंट से नहीं आना करके मेरे को ऐसा फील हो रहा है.
Yeah, I can think of at least one more where his flank was a safety net that they didn't even need to go near. At this stage, I cannot think that this pause is about anything else but addressing that. The fact that they've caught him in so many of the rounds, like you said, you think about sewers, you think about there in mid, a player swings, has a gun pointed at him, and Autumn somehow reacts. Whether he doesn't have his weapon or whether he's looking the wrong way, it doesn't matter. He ends up walking out of there with most of his HP and an advantage for the team. That cannot be happening. Even some of the time it shouldn't be happening. It's happening every time.
But there is a reason that this guy flexes between this Viper and, you know, like a Phoenix or something. He has that raw individual skill. He's had it for quite a while. There was a reason that teams were willing to take that risk of picking him up in China. It was because of the flair that he brings to the server. But yeah, it feels like in some of the cases, the LEV players should have been hitting those shots. He has managed to get away with it. Other than
स्प्लिट में बहुत सारे प्ले कर सकता है बंदा अगर चाहे ना. तो स्प्लिट में देयर आर टू मेनी ऑप्शंस कि भाई वो बंदा प्ले इधर जाके प्ले कर ले, उधर जाके प्ले कर ले. ओमेन ने अभी उधर टीपी कर ला कभी में, तो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं भाई. देयर आर टू मेनी यू नो प्लेसेस. इको में हिको करने के चांसेस है प्लस में. इको में हिको भाई उन्होंने हाफ बाई किया, उन्होंने बहुत काम करा है.
Could have been even more.
But you know, still chances are low कि भाई ये round
perhaps, but
जीते.
GE with a few stumbles, a man down. The Sage Wall doesn't cover off Heaven the way they wanted
to.
to.
This round.
Leviathan, their best chance here of this A site retake.
Outlo लेके.
Not spotted on him, but he won't land his shot either. The trade's out though as Uniton found one, slips back into the site as well. C's being thrown. It's going to delay that push, allows Uniton to get right back here towards Ticken, and they don't think he's around this spot, but Seto finds him anyway. Another under his belt gives Leviathan 4.
That's the guy that we were seeing in the last map. That's the guy that's been missing in this one. That is just raw individual brilliance coming out from Sato. Again, it's almost like what we were talking about with Autumn, where this guy is seemingly facing into an angle where someone is waiting for him, and he is just landing every single shot.
अच्छा खेल रही है लेविटन
It's going to put him
भाई.
one away from his ultimate as well, and
बहुत अच्छा खेला
that's
उन्होंने.
it.
टेक अच्छा करा
7-5.
यार.
Going in with the double duelist comp into the attack. It's not a death sentence. It's just the manner in which this half has gone that has felt a little bit more scary.
Well, yeah, think about even looking at the timeline, what happens if Leviathan don't take the pistol round. We could have seen GE completely run away with this. Remember, it was 2 flawless rounds from Leviathan to start this out.
हर बार ये नहीं करना चाहिए, पता है इसको यार. वो पता है उनको भाई कि फेक भी हो सकता है. प्ले बना नहीं रही है GE bro.
Much
He's
more
playing really
aggressive this
bad, I
time,
think.
and he's got some backup while Autumn walks straight out. The Prowler went past him, flying under the radar, but doesn't strike the death blow.
We have advantage,
The trades
to be
early
honest.
on,
उल्लू है बहुत
Leviathan
ज़्यादा.
holding on for dear life, but there's a res available. It's going to be put in onto Crystal, but the trades for Leviathan trying to keep things even.
Spike
And Spike
क्या
Z's
कर
done
रहा है
a
bro.
remarkable job, but despite it, they're going to have to fight back into this A site. TP's going to be denied. Plant found, one away from a showstopper, and utility online
Must win
for
round है.
GE. This
Must
was
win
not
round है. To be
an
honest,
easy
बोल रहा हूँ
retake.
must win round है.
It's so annoying because for Neon now
बहुत
he's so
ज़्यादा मैटर
far
करेगा.
away.
ये
He's
4 होना
literally
ही
on the
चाहिए.
opposite
पेसल
side of the map.
जीते ना जीते कभी कुछ नहीं पता
Although
है.
his
Must win
teammate
round है
can
bro.
get through that little bit quicker.
बहुत मैटर करेगा.
He's going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Autumn's positioning again. He's just been annoying throughout this map, but he doesn't land the shot. The wall back.
No,
For
already.
Spike Zee, this might just be his round. Facing off against Yudatan in that 1v2 clutch. The
Nice
first, a little bit too easy. Spike Zee so far ahead of his teammate.
उसको
and now
पता है
just
ऊपर है.
holding
नहीं
that
कूदा है. नहीं
showstopper.
कूदा है. He
The
knows that.
last one was clicked by mistake. This one is clicked to buy time, and that time already seeming
Let's
like
go,
it's too
let's go,
far
let's
gone.
go.
The nade is perfect, and he's there.
Whoa!
Defends it out in style. A Red Bull
क्या मारा
punch
उसको?
gives GE
क्या snatch
the
किया,
eighth
bro?
round.
8-4 at the halftime. A commanding
What a
lead
satchel
for
run, सही
GE.
में.
They look so strong down on that stage and
देखो
closing it
देखना है वो
with a
लाता
Red
है
Bull
उसने कैसे
clutch
मारा.
has got to leave confidence sky high. Mistakes for Leviathan have to be corrected.
सैचल
and
अच्छा
they're
था बट
running
यू नो कि
out of
सही
time.
जगह पे सैचल था bro. परफेक्ट
Has to
था.
happen after the break.
अपना ऐसे क्यों नहीं खेलते भाई बंदे. अपने मुंबई सर्वर के लौंडे ऐसा क्यों नहीं खेलते भाई. टाइम आउट है. देख रहा है क्या जतिन तो है बेबी. देख रहा है क्या तू. देख रहा है क्या जतिन. ये पंचाल आर यू हियर और नॉट. मैं 6 people are watching but पता नहीं what are they doing you know. भाई अपनी भी ऐड आ रही है टाइम आउट पे भाई, मतलब देखनी नहीं इधर अभी, टाइम आउट पे ऐड आ रही है चुप। मतलब अलग ही लेवल है भाई, वो ऐसा नहीं बोलते, वो अलग ही लेवल का बंदा था भाई। ऐसा सीन है। जी फाइटिंग है भाई, जी फाइटिंग भाई, लेट्स गो भाई, लेट्स गो। Let's go. Half time is over, I think.
But weeding him out of mid is not going to be an easy task either.
Well, as you can see by looking at the timeline, half of the rounds for Leviathan came off the pistol. Let's hope they can find it here, or the return to form is going to take quite a while and need very few errors. But a pistol also is often talked about as a coin flip. Not really where you want to have to start your comeback, but that's one way to kick it off. Great pickup by King.
That was the
कोई ना, you know, pistol एक बार के लिए left right हो तो, you know, I think it's
okay. He has been playing this controller incredibly aggressively all the way through the map. Autumn now needs to have another high impact play, and even the nade just trying to maybe even force them into his position.
Yeah,
doesn't have a whole lot of support. His teammate is trying to re-aggressive towards B main, wants to try and hold on to some control, but look how passively King is sitting. Autumn dealt with. And Crystal needs to win this fight. He's got a teammate looking to try and lock in the other player. The problem, though, is that King's won his second fight of the round.
वो expect नहीं करेंगे Siege को, इससे जल्दी आ जाएगा
Pistols.
Last player
On Ecos as well. Something just activates in Leviathan. A clean start. And we could be on for the Thrifty Judo time. All that stands in the way. And okay, Thrifty no more, but a round win. Well, it seems assured for the attacking. That's a fake flash if ever I've seen one.
Bro, same bro, मैंने भी पहली बार देखा होगा ऐसा पिस्टल छोड़ के
कुश्ती करने में
किक ने निकाल दिया बी में होल्ड करके वो।
Yeah, you know, it's not going to be flawless, but I don't think they'll give a damn.
Damn,
the Sheriff of King puts him to the top of the board for his side, and honestly, all of these kills were fairly important. Like, he's being surrounded in this moment and manages to just play it perfectly with his positioning. That lifeline has now been picked up for Leviathan. And obviously, once again, there's not going to be much, if anything, invested for the defensive side. Far more reliant on their buy rounds. The fact is, a winning of a pistol in the last map might have meant we closed this in two, which, I'll be honest, I'm kind of glad didn't happen.
Especially not after that first map. That was basically a first half.
Yeah. The problem will be, though, is if this series does slip from them, those pistols are probably going to be what becomes pretty defining. Now, for the defense at this stage, the real question is, do you actually try and go for exits? Do you try and do any damage? Or, and it looks like what they're going to do, just hide in the corner and go down to the spike.
Of course, if anybody goes pushing, you'll be happy to take a spare orb a little bit earlier. Spike seem definitely...
Oh, it's Sato for sure.
Walking forward alongside Sato. Oh, that's a double for him. A chance for a little more and some orbs picked up indeed for Leviathan. Losses minimal. Yeah, they're still carrying those two rifles forward, which is the name of the game. And King's even going looking for another. It looks like he'll find it. Time dependent. No. Okay. He's backed away just at the wrong moment. But nonetheless, the climb back for Leviathan is well and truly underway. 2 rounds here off the back of the pistol. Same as the first round, but this is where things slipped out of their control.
Yeah, the main question I was going to ask is how much are they actually going to put into this round, because as you said, it was a lot of light purchases. They didn't have too much in terms of rifles, but that normally means that you can then buy up the rifles going into the next round. So I think, yeah, it's going to be a very strong bonus. If anything, King's best weapon has been the Sheriff. So I would almost put this at a full buy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not a bad shout. I saw that pistol round. Didn't seem to matter what weapon their opponents had in hand. For GE, spread across the map. They've got good slow abilities towards the B site. The slow, obviously, being one of them. paranoia.
Keep Anshal, are you here watching the stream?
This flash could be devastating. It's blind to both players. Let's give it Sato an easy opening and a follow-up with the wallbang. Glorious work from the Phoenix on Leviathan, and the B site secured and a plank coming in on the back of it. This is about as good a start to a bonus like this as you could ever hope for.
Solid reveal from Blows made that kill come in so much easier. And for the remaining three, this becomes tough. Sato is literally just standing there. He's trying to bait that he's not. He's walking up instead. You expect the Phoenix to come running into your face, and instead he calls the bluff. And that's the moment where they have to save. Bring the weaponry into the next round. We spoke about it. The difference between map one and this one is that if you can get Sato online like he was in the second, this Leviathan squad feels like a different beast, and this round was his and his alone.
And this is what GE are going to have to deal with. Normally when you get players and you keep them in that choke point, it's very difficult to get out of the choke point. But here, a Phoenix wall to cut off the site so they can first peek back site, see no one there. And once that flash goes through, the Neon is on you in an instant. And that's always going to be a possibility. You smoke them off, that can very well play to their advantage if they land that flash
understand
out of
what we're writing, bro. Actually, I'm an Indian, bro. I can only understand 2 languages, bro. Either it is English or Hindi, bro. I don't even know in which language you're like written the thing. Let me, translate it if I get it. Let me think. I'll try to translate and
feels
try
like
to
the
reply,
round for Leviathan to potentially even up that scoreline from such a massive deficit. And already Sato with that opening pick is going to make things that little bit tougher. All being claimed on the other side. Will at least be something to play with, but King has caught one more. He thought that that area of the map was safe. Instead, there's not much to play with. Let's listen in to Lev.
O que vai querer fazer?
I'm not interested in it.
Com vocês só. Juntamente vamos pro nós aqui B? Vou pela meia com vocês.
Tem uma paranoia, tá? Quer splitar? Que a gente tá...
Não. Vai ligar a hora e abrir uma meia. Tá. Vai abrir aqui nós dois.
Bora.
Eu só te fiz o B, tá, guys? Botou B agora.
Bora. Vai abrir meia. Tô com você.
Levou aqui na caixa B. Fade B. Tá só, ainda se o cara tá com a... Ah, tá, é só trade. Guys, segura a bang. Segura a bang.
Segura a bang, hein? Pegando.
Guys, temos tempo, tá? Só trade aqui.
Well, you could hear the call to move back to B. That's where the finish is coming in. And Leviathan have an easy time. GE are now having to make a bit of a blind read, and their call is to move towards the A site. Wrong side of the map. So LEV find themselves an easy entry.
करो सेव भाई क्या ऑप्शन है क्या तुम पे कुछ ऑप्शन है क्या तुम पे और
all the damage done already. He's going to go for the orb and then the plant, but they've decided to distribute that differently. Time obviously a factor there as well. But yeah, I think at this point GE just saved those weapons. It definitely looks like that was the idea as they sit down now, bunker down towards the spawn. As far as this round goes for Leviathan, I love the ideas. They take opening fight on B, immediately reset to that mid control, and the patience on display, knowing they're up against a bit of a mix buy and not wanting to be caught off by the numbers. Waiting that long, got them Autumn just walking up. Exactly what they needed to do.
But it's very controlled. I think that's important when, considering how that last half went, they were losing like to clutch moments even all the way to the end of the half. And basically coming in, winning the pistol, it seems to put them right back into the right headspace again. And that's something that I think a lot of people underestimate, that this is an incredibly young team. Like, other than King, who's been around the block at least a little bit, you're talking about 18 and 19-year-old players. When you win the pistol second round and come out with only 4 rounds in a half, I wouldn't blame you if you came out completely mentally boomed. You look at them in that round, perfectly controlled. It looks like they're right back in the headspace, and that's why you can see that force coming through, because that hefty lead, that momentum that was there for GE has dissipated, and I think Frost has realized, okay, now we need to stop Leviathan from running away with this second half.
Exactly, a very different vibe when it comes to this half than what we've seen so far, even going back to Fracture. The Leviathan, it feels like they really have found the solution, and like you said, this deep in a series as well. We've seen many a team just hit that mental boom. And with Leviathan being a young team as well, that's always going to be something that's in the back of our minds. But they've proven to be able to stand that test of time, even on the international stage. This timeout from GE definitely dangerous. This is a full buy that they're going into. If they can capture even a fraction of the light that they had over on Fracture, over on Pearl, this is going to be a completely different game. But a good sign for Leviathan, especially slowing it down, dealing with Autumn's late play to try to take space back, dealing with that low buy. Looked like very few mistakes.
Also, look at the credits. Look at the position they find themselves in just 4 rounds into the second half. The lowest credits are 5,900. So it's not just that GE need a round. They need to repeat rounds to make sure their opponents can't just buy back in again. Now, the one good thing, Yudatan, 1 away from that showstopper, but just look at the change of pace. And they're gone! They're gone! They've taken a pause and immediately it's over! 10 seconds into the round and G have to save! That couldn't have gone any worse for Global Esports.
From the past 3 rounds, G's been saving the guns, bro. From the past 3 rounds, bro.
3 players there, and moments later, the site is open.
I don't know
what's
gonna happen next, but you know, I don't think that G from here is,
where
you
the
know,
credits were at for
possible
Leviathan.
G to win.
5.9k on the lowest player. By the way, everyone else was up a lot
But let's
higher,
see.
closer to that
Everything
7
is
mark.
possible.
Well, now I think they're going to be in a bit of a stronger spot. If they survive with all 5 players here, we're talking max money across the board. We were neck and neck, but it felt like Leviathan had the upper hand, and now they've used it to choke slam GE.
Chalk slam
Although they're only
GE, bro,
1
for
round
real.
ahead, they're miles ahead in this half.
Oh, that's so rough. Like, the fact that you even have the right read of where they're going to be and you just get slaughtered. Like, that was less than 10 seconds. That round ended basically immediately. And okay, they'll at least get to hold on to a couple of the weapons. It's not quite going to be max cash across the entirety of the board, which is a silver lining. Really isn't a silver lining. But that's insanity. And that has got to bludgeon the confidence of GE. You're in the right place at the right time, but everything went wrong.
Yeah, as far as silver linings go, I think, well, guys, at least they can't buy 3 times in a row. Probably isn't what you want to be hearing on map 3
They probably can.
of an opening series. Leviathan, yeah, I suppose they probably can anyways. That's one hell of a start. He is just running around Spike Scene. Looks like he owns the place.
Ooh.
He'll be shut down after 1 more, but enough should already be done.
Batman, nice one,
Leviathan running away with every fight. Patman may try his best, and he's got backup. But what he doesn't have is targets, because they have fled the site, running to plant on A, but they might not even get a chance with only 1 man left. GE, they put up one hell of a fight. In fact, they started this series with dominance, but things have certainly changed in this final half of the series. Sees Leviathan hit another power level.
I feel like I'm going to end this game with egg on my face. I said that the one thing that this defensive side had was utility to delay. I don't know where it's been. I don't know where it's gone, because we are seeing opening kills come in the sub 5-second mark. It just runs straight up mid and killed 2 players. They know he's coming. It's not being subtle about it. And then it's just a domino effect.
Keep in mind, that's a team that won the first 2 rounds in the first half and got bodied from that point forward. And the vibes are immaculate. Double digits found for Leviathan. 2 rounds to the good. The economy stacked in their favor, and their opponents on a very low buy. It's even going to start with a fake to the B side. They want to drag the rotates, but B stand in position. Stand ready to fight. Sheriffs have spotted at least 2 more. They're looking for this.
Good one, bhai. Good one. Let's go. Let's go. Got the spike. कोई ना pick मत लो. Pick मत लो. No issue. No issue. Let them come. अगर वो उधर आएगा.
Desperately need to convert. Your opponents have been winning, and they've been winning cleanly. An upset round, a spanner in the works, a knock to the confidence is imperative at this stage. If there's any way back into the map, it has to be here, it has to be now. In the past, you might talk about damage.
He's gonna peek,
Damage has become irrelevant. And a TP across the map. Everybody from G is now here. Close angle, cleared. Sato already.
Good.
But there come the trades.
Good one, bhai.
Running it down, only Neon standing in their way.
Let's go, bhai. G fighting. G is fighting.
And G are not giving anything away. They know how important this round is.
Yeah, bro. For real.
We're just going to be spamming that as well. hoping someone was inside the smoke, but they'll give him the spike. You have 15 seconds. Where are you going to go? Plant needs to be found soon. 10 seconds till we can't plant anymore. And well, I think at this stage, he's given up on the round. Going to take down as many as he can, but another one gets into Autumn, and a mastercard keeps GE in this game.
Yeah, as said, imperative. They needed something to break that 6-round momentum. They needed a hero to step up to the plate, and they got a couple. Both Crystal and Yudotan. And in fact, it was almost the entirety of the squad finding a kill with those sheriffs. They came out of absolutely nowhere.
Sorry, beats.
But that could just be enough to bring them back from the haze that they seem to be in. Still, Leviathan have the lead, and in case we hadn't hammered it home enough, they have enough money to buy.
Yeah, in case you missed that little talked about detail. Credit sat very high for Leviathan. Another full buy-in presence towards the B site. Spat's looking dangerous, but that molly forced Patman out of the corner. In the meantime, though, Leviathan. Oh, they've almost lost Sado.
That's okay though, because he has his ult.
Yeah.
If he finds a spot to use it, that heals him back up.
Autumn. Big risk. Even walking through that in the first place, but now he's got the angle to hold on to. Orb about to fade though. It's time to fall back.
Has to leave. This time a lot more tentative. Think back to those fast-paced winning rounds. We were talking about them being done in 10 seconds. And still trying to play with fire around this smoke instead. And ult's been used on the other side. It drags the eyes of the opponents, and that was the goal. It gives them some middle control. Still, Harvey has some utility to play with. If he can get one and throw the slow, instead he's gone. Spike Scene wins that fight. Now the players within the B side are being surrounded, but it seems like they've realized back to the other side of the map they go. But can Yudotan be their demon, be the Reaper on the back of the A side?
Be the demon,
They saw
Yudotan.
so many players on that B side. They might not expect him to be tucked in like this. We've seen it from him before, but now with 12 seconds left,
Let's go in, It's okay.
could have saved the day, but they'll still get the spike. Still moves to the side, and King cuts off the rotates. Pac-Man 1 against 4. The spike already planted, and he'll only get his first. 11 locked in for Leviathan, the lead with a bit more leeway to it.
Good mid-rounding again. The information fed through to the IGL to make that last-second decision. And also, just the timing of where they swing onto Yudotan. He didn't really have a chance of getting more than one there. He had to commit to one of the angles. He knew there was a player behind him. Maybe he faces the other way, he gets both, but you could never know that. That's such a gamble. And that second timeout now called for Global Esports. Think back to the last
But I
half.
still
Think to
feel
them
कि Yudotan
8-4.
थोड़ा सा बॉक्स पे खेल सकता था.
Winning a
I felt
multitude of rounds
वो
in a row.
उसका सही था
7
कि
of 8
मतलब
going their way.
गैम्बल ही खेलना था
And now
उसको
they
कि
sit
एक ही
2
मरता
rounds
उससे.
down. And it's
गैम्बल ही
their
खेलना था.
coaching
But I
staff's
feel
last
कि
chance
फिर
in
भी still he had
regulation
chance कि
to
दूसरी
save
पोजी पे
them
खेल सकता
from
था या तो
defeat.
शायद एल्बो
Well,
क्लोजिंग होके
Leviathan's
खेलता.
ability to keep themselves in this game
Maybe
has
कुछ
been
play बन
impressive.
जाता.
You go back to Fracture, there were
Maybe
moments
play
where
बन
it
जाता.
felt
वो
like
गलत
it would
angle
slip
था, to be
away,
honest,
and
में
it's
गलत
certainly
angle था.
with a little bit of bias coming out of that first map.
That
You
was
can
not a good
understand
angle, to be
why.
honest.
GE came in looking strong. They showed us that they had individuals across the board. Crystal had a life game to open up this series. Yudotan on map 2. My goodness, he was on fire. But now Leviathan have very much woken up. The lead is theirs and a chance to right the wrongs of this series so far. Well and truly within reach. They come into this round as well. Ults to play with. True on both sides. You have that pit. The person with the pit does currently have an operator, no shields. It's an unusual look, Tom. Maybe not the round we see the pit come into play. But what is the idea behind this? Where's Autumn going?
I think just because it's been a game of smoke and mirrors in mid, he's going to try and just cut through that smoke with a knife. And that knife is a sniper rifle. The problem is, just look at the ruse that's almost being sold. It's been obliterated with the judge. They nerfed those, didn't they? I thought that wasn't allowed anymore. That operator gone. But this wasn't even the main game plan. This was almost just a ruse to give them space elsewhere.
They're going to drop
They're going to have to try and jump down together, but instead he's jumping towards them. 2 kills. Another halfway done. And pressure onto Pam, and he doesn't know how much control's already been taken by Leviathan. Another solid round from them. the ruse from SpikeZine sent
It's over,
through,
guys.
and then the rest of the players
Next
were
round
just
में
making their
जीतेंगे.
way into mid. There's the pit on the other side as well. Surely there's no way back into this.
There's no way you even tried. Not when there's an AWP on the floor. Not when Uditon's
क्या
already
करे
40
भाई?
HP.
There is no
And look at the
chance
pit.
भाई.
It's formed
Viper
perfectly
में जाके, bro.
going in towards that little hallway. You're never making it out of there alive. Even if you had the numbers. Leviathan on 12, guaranteed at this point. And considering how we started this out, Tom, it really does feel like the shoe's on the other foot now. Leviathan pushing and pulling the map perfectly, finding these pacey opening pickups as well, using that neon
Let's go.
judge into
चलो
the
कोई ना
map.
जी तो हार
They
गई.
have full control
कोई
of the
बात
map.
but कोई
And
बात
thinking
नहीं,
back
you
to Pearl, that was the problem. It was always the other way around.
The annoyance as well, if you're on the GE side, is that call is almost certainly you're going to do that. Maybe you just get Vents control. Maybe you die and we get mid. Like, you're trying to pull people away so that we can get that control for free. Instead, he gets 2 and, well, almost a third
Two
kill.
and a half men, yeah.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is that we might call that like, oh, you throw a spanner in the works. He threw a grenade in the works. He basically blew up the whole round for GE before they even got started. Now it's a jumble sale. A sheriff, that operator saved, a judge in the pit but with no shields. This is a nightmare to try and climb back from, and Leviathan are right where they want to be.
Paranoia for Patman's going to be used to try to delay them. You can already see the pace picked up by Leviathan. And they've managed to find the trade. Neon lays his life down, but the reward is clear. Favor for Leviathan now in what could be the final round. Viper's Pit already put into play. A res online, but, well, that player's not quite reachable, and Leviathan aren't even going to let them close to the site. Already pushing deep into the spawn, looking for this fight.
So much ground held. It's something that they just can't allow to happen. The Stinger, not the weapon for this round, but I was going to say it might be worth it in that scenario. They managed to cross, but 2 players into the spawn is going to be an issue. They need to get rid of them, and it's all just falling apart. The red's available, it's being used, but there's another player just waiting round the corner. And from the depths of defeat, Leviathan will climb back into the game. 13-9 victory. They take the series.
Well, they may be a young team, but there's a reason this team was so close to being America's #1. And they came out here today and showed us exactly that. Fracture and split. A recovery that I wasn't sure we were going to see. No. Map 1 was devastating.
Anti. Bro, currently I'm streaming, okay, and I can't end my stream. And when I'm starting, you know what, running a Valorant, there is showing that your system needs restart. Then after you'll be able to, you know, open Valorant. Then what should I do, bro? I'm currently streaming. I can't go like that, bro. मैं stream थोड़ी ना end कर सकता हूँ अभी. I can end the stream, bhai. चलो लेट्स सी अब होता है नहीं होता है। राइट लाइन को हटा तो दिया आपने। छत इधर तो प्ले का आ रहा है ऑप्शन। भाई जी अच्छा खेली बट इन्हों क्या करे ब्रो, किस्मत ही खराब थी जी की, किस्मत ही खराब थी जी की। व्हाट कैन वी डू, ऐसा ही होता है ब्रो यू नो। बट स्टिल ब्रो, अभी क्या चूतिया पे यार। एरर कोड 57। भाई किसी को पता है क्या ये क्या सीन है? टाइप विंडोज प्लस आर, ओके, एंड service dot msc, services dot msc, okay, then find vgc, okay, okay, we got vgc, okay, running, it's running, okay, और ये पहले रनिंग था या नहीं था, let me see, you know, I didn't see it, हाँ पहले नहीं था, अभी चल रहा है, let's see। Bro there is no chat यार। भाई क्या चूतिया पे बताओ, क्या है भाई ये, अब क्या करेगा बंदा, क्या करेगा बंदा, स्ट्रीम एंड करेगा क्या भाई? मैं तो ना कर रहा स्ट्रीम एंड भाई। आई ट्राई एंड ट्राई। चल तो रहा है ये वैनगार्ड भाई, क्या दिक्कत है इसको, चल तो रहा है यार वैनगार्ड यार भाई। अजीब ही छूती हैं बहन चूत वैलोरेंट वाले भी यार, अलग ही लेवल की छूती हैं बहन की चूत इनकी। अभी जब भी भाई नहीं कर सकता लाइव, अभी एंड नहीं कर सकता ब्रो, आई स्टार्ट द लाइव अगेन भाई। ये क्या चूते आ गए भाई ये, सही है भाई, हट बहन चो खेलूंगा ही नहीं, हट 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 बहन चो हट, चूतिए बहन की आंख। इससे अच्छा ये खेल लेते हैं। एनीबॉडी वांट्स टू प्ले स्क्रिबल तो आ सकता है भाई। क्या है ये? क्या है ये?